This is an intriguing story, and there are many great performances, and it starts off beautifully in a beautiful sort of world of the Far East, and then very quickly the story becomes from a glamorous sort of journey as it begins. Suddenly you discover the murder, and then of course in steps Mr. Poirot, and before you know it we're in a dark tale. What was tricky about it was there was so many interviews by Poirot, interviewing all the characters. It was very tricky to get the kind of right tone of that, but also it's very emotional. You imagine it's going to be a straight whodunit. It's that, it's a mystery, but it's also very emotional. So it's less, it's tense. There's a couple of action moments, but it's far more emotional than you realise. He's done a phenomenal job. You've got to choose certain Eastern instruments, Western instruments. There's a real choice you have to make in order to create the tension for an audience. And he allows the music to blossom in a film. So I'm very lucky. Well, yes, I was actually. Funny enough, it's a good question. I actually saw a lot of an early sort of rough preview of just a 10-minute little taster between Ken and I in the studio, and I went away before my job officially began, and I wrote four conceptual pieces based on that stimulus, and one of them, and most of the ideas became and grew part of the film. So, but the most standalone moment is at the end of the film when you see a certain, I won't tell you the drama, there's a certain part of the film with an enormously long, for maybe a 9-minute moment of music, more or less, and that's really the sort of climax of the story, and it's a very emotional moment, surprisingly, as I mentioned earlier. So that was a key moment.